So we've made it out here to North Carolina, and we just wanted to, wow! So we just moved through New York and we're down in North Carolina right now, but we just want to tell you guys about a few of the ministries that we participated in there. And one was coming out of Times Square Church. So the biggest thing that our passion is about is being able to connect people together and creating those platforms. Times Square Church had this feeding center. It wasn't a center, but this feeding program where they were taking 100 different churches in their program, funding them 100%, opening up a food kitchen for each of them so they could each have their own ministries. And after that 1 year, each of the churches take off on their own. Then they have their own ministry where it's self-sustaining, but it's one church seeing a need and seeing that they have the resources to do it. So they pick 100 churches over all of New York and they all work together. And there were so many other ministries, but I'll let the fellows tell you guys more.
New York, the Big Apple. No, seriously. What stood out to me, I would say, is the compound we were staying at needed a lot of cleaning, and to see another group come in, one of Daniel's partners, the YWAM, which stands for Youth with a Mission. So they got to come out and they helped us coordinate and clean up that area to prepare for the future teams that were going to be out there in the summer, the Adventures and Missions teams. So it was really cool to partner up and to link up to serve. And kind of just prepare the way for the groups that are going to be out there serving God. So that was real cool. And as you can see from the Elevation t-shirt, I'm official guest, VIP status. We're in Charlotte now, and we actually connected with the YWAMers, and they housed us. So that was just cool to see God moving that way. Thanks, and just keep following us. God bless.
Hey, this is Nick here from TurnTheWorldUpsideDown.net. We just got out of New York, and it was a great time there because for me, I'm an actor down in San Diego and come to church, and usually I'm like the only one there. I don't know any other actors, and so going to New York, we show up at these churches and everyone's actors, everyone's writers or directors, and just a variety of just artists all in one congregation. And so it was really cool to see how God's moving in those congregations, how God is using people in the arts to reach just people who don't know Him. There was a girl we met at Redeemer Church, two girls, Phoebe and Abby. Phoebe's a playwright, and so she's using her gift of playwriting just to reach others and putting on shows and finding ways to, basically just tell truth, which is the artist's job, is to reveal truth. Same thing with Abby. Abby's working for James Lipton on the inside the actor studio. She's also working very hard, working like 4 other jobs, like many actors are. But just being a light where you're at. As an actor, a lot of times we as Christians, we confine ourselves, especially within the arts, because we think that we have to limit ourselves. But Jesus is Lord over all. And so what we have to do is find ways to kind of infiltrate these communities and societies and make great art. Because a lot of times we have kind of a reputation for making just kind of weak movies and plays and songs. And so I think a big question for us actors today is how can we change that? How can we fix that? And I think a big part of it is telling truth and just revealing truth, because God, any truth is God's truth. And so that's our job as artists and as actors and writers and directors and playwrights, whatever it is. So we met a lot of great people over there in New York that are doing that. They have a ministry called In the Living Room, where basically actors and just different artists come together and they talk about how does their faith relate to their art. And so, yeah, a lot of good things are over there. God's moving in big ways. So yeah, thanks.
What's up, y'all? We just got back from New York City, and I went to Times Square Church. That was pretty cool. We saw a play. It was about the life of the guy who, the pastor of the church. He died, I think, a few years ago. But anyway, it was kind of about how he came to New York City. And he's from a small town in Pennsylvania, and I kind of went through how he wrestled with not wanting to go, and he felt God calling him and going to the gangs in New York City. It was really bad back in that time, and felt like God wanted him to go there, and the play did a good job of showing like how he wrestled with it and didn't want to go, but he responded to that call, and that was really cool to see, because a lot of times God calls us to do something and we don't want to respond because it's hard. But he responded, and then the whole play was about how he changed the gangs, and there was all these people came to Christ, and he just impacted and created this church, Times Square Church, with 5,000 members, and then he actually started Team Challenge, which probably a lot of y'all know about, which is huge. And I mean, that was just cool to see that he was from a small town, country, knew nothing about the city, but he heard the voice of God, and then he wrestled with it, but he responded to that call. And that's what we need to do as Christians. We need to respond. Even if it's hard, God's going to put us in situations to stretch us, but we need to respond. So as you can see, there's ministries in every city. anywhere we go, there's need, and there's people that are doing work for Christ that we can just join in. So I'd say the biggest thing is, if you're wondering, you're feeling that call of God, just flat out, just go.